Shut up and sit down.
What's going on, everybody? This is Jake here with Beyond the Berm. Welcome to another tabletop review. Today we're going to be looking at my new to me CZ P01. As many of you may know if you follow my Facebook or Instagram, this has officially replaced my Glock 19 as my everyday carry. Just so you know, all guns are clear. The big boy. Now, as many of you know, I have been carrying this Glock 19 for quite some time now, and I absolutely love it. It's treated me perfectly fine since I've owned it, since I've been carrying it, and I still love the gun. It's a fine piece. This is not against Glock whatsoever. That being said, this guy has absolutely taken the cake as my personal favorite carry pistol. It's a typical double action, single action pistol like most CZs. Being the P01, it has an alloy frame with a steel slide and a non-ambidextrous decocker. Unlike its big brother, the SP01, which is a steel frame, steel slide, ambidextrous decocker. Now, in regards to capacity, I'm sacrificing a round. And honestly, I think it's worth it. The P01 has 14 plus 1, whereas the Glock 19 is 15 plus 1. Now, I get over that by manually loading in a round to the chamber, sending the slide home, and then topping off with a full 14 round mag. So that still leaves me with 15 rounds, which is, honestly, that's sufficient. That's plenty. A lot of people in other states can't even have that, so good in my book. To supplement that, I carry a 17 round MechGar magazine that's for the SP01 because the mags do interchange between the two as my backup. So I end up with actually more capacity because I typically would carry two 15 round mags with the Glock. I have to say, after taking the Advanced Vehicle Defense course with PD Tactics out of Rhode Island, with this pistol, I was completely sold. I shot extremely well with it. The gun was utterly reliable the entire time. I really can't say enough good about it. Like I said in my previous video about the SP01, that there's a little bit less room to grip the slide here. Well, honestly, that's entirely true. I didn't notice it until I was forced to clear an ammunition malfunction. The round actually, its overall length was a little too long. It was a reloaded Freedom Munitions round, and it got jammed up in the chamber pretty bad of the gun. This is not hating on Freedom Munitions whatsoever. I've ran thousands of their rounds, and I had no issues. There just happened to be one round, which happens to every manufacturer. So, good looks on Freedom Munitions, you still produce great ammo. As far as carryability, I believe it's 6 or 8 ounces, I don't remember exactly, heavier than the Glock. I've carried my SP01 before, which is insanely heavy, and I really don't mind it. So the weight difference between the two has been negligible to me. Accuracy, it's just something about a CZ. They are inherently accurate. I shoot this gun very well. I ran the course with factory sights, which are just a typical 3-dot style. I wasn't really a fan of them, so I immediately ordered a set of CZ custom sights for it. Now typically I like to run Dawson Precision sights, like I do on the Glock, because they have this nice shelf here on the back and red fiber optic front. But unfortunately, Dawson Precision sights, they don't offer a sight system that has that shelf. As you can see, this is their shelf. There's nothing there. It really doesn't do anything. So I went with CZ Custom. and use their H-Tac rear sight with their 6.5mm front fiber optic sight, and that gives you a nice shelf to really grip on whatever you need to grip on. And of course the blacked out rear with the fiber optic front is just sweet, and it looks kind of badass too. Like, look at the profile of that. Sweet. I'm not going to compare triggers between the two because you're working with a double action, single action, hammer fired pistol versus a striker fired gun. There's really no comparison in the triggers. They're night and day. I'm not going to say one is better or worse because they're just different. It's a striker fired gun. It's going to have a striker fired trigger. Hammer fired guns are an entirely different ballgame. I will say that between these two, the SP01 and the P01, I found the double action to be actually a little smoother in this one. I'm not entirely certain why. It feels better to me right out of the box. I probably have about 1,200 rounds through this SP01, and the single action is very crisp, very nice, fairly light, probably sitting right around 4.5–5 pounds, and it's nice. The single action in this hasn't quite gotten there, but I'm sure that the more I shoot it, it's going to break in, it's going to get even better. As far as overall profile goes, it is a little bit bigger than the Glock. As you can see, the Glock definitely has an advantage in grip length. It's really not by a lot. Like I've said, I've carried my SP01 and I can conceal that perfectly fine, so the grip length really wasn't an issue for me. For some people it might be, so buyer be warned, it is a little bit longer in terms of grip length than the Glock. The barrel, however, is a 3.75-inch barrel, so you're losing a little bit in barrel length compared to the Glock, especially mine with the threaded barrel, which is sitting somewhere around 4.5. Factory is 3.99, I believe. So you're definitely sacrificing 0.2 of an inch in barrel length, but honestly, not that big of a deal. I've always believed, yet again, shot placement is key. So make sure that your firearm is going to cycle your defensive ammunition and train with it, and make sure you can put rounds on target. Other than that, I'm completely in love with this thing. It points extremely well. It's just everything I needed to do, and then some. And it's pretty. I know aesthetics really shouldn't dictate anything, but man, is it a good looking gun. Now, going forward, I do plan on getting different grips for it, because the factory rubber ones, which are great, are a little bit bulky for me. It makes it a little bit hard to reach the mag release sometimes. So I plan on getting something from maybe VZ grips. I don't think I want to go the aluminum grip option like I did on the SP01. But I definitely would like something slightly on the slimmer side. Other than that, I'm more than likely going to put a stainless steel guide rod in the pistol, like I do most of my guns. I haven't in my Glock. Factory guide rods work fine, especially the dual spring captured style on the Gen4s. This one I have a stainless steel guide rod in, and it's nice. I just like the peace of mind. I know it's not going to fail. My previous CZs have had the polymer guide rods, and they don't fail unless you're getting the gun seriously hot. That's the only time you see failures with polymer guide rods, is when they're being pushed beyond the realm of actual possibility. Other than that, I don't really have much to say. It's replaced the Glock 19. Yet again, this is personal preference. To me, this is a better pistol than the Glock 19. It points better for me. It shoots better for me. And it is absolutely not saying that the Glock is not a good pistol. This thing they're great. Everybody knows they're great. Even the Glock haters know they're great. So, I'll give you guys some updates as I fine-tune it a little bit. Potentially with some grips, guide rod. I might have this one sent off to Cajun Gunworks to have a little bit of trigger action done, because everything that I've ever shot from them has been more than incredible. They're phenomenal. The double action on them is around 6 pounds, and it's smooth as butter. But it will remain a defensive use pistol, so that's a maybe. There's no definitive answer on that one. And in terms of recoil, this is very, very subjective. I feel as if this shoots a little softer. That's more than likely to do with the weight in comparison to the 19. But you know, 9mm is 9mm. Really doesn't recoil much. This thing, there's virtually zero recoil. Definitely noticeable with this. It's definitely more poppy than this, but between the two, I think this one recoils less, more than likely due to the weight and the fact that the slide does ride inside the frame like its other brothers and sisters. So that's all for today, guys. I just wanted to give you a nice little quick overview of my new carry gun and the reasons why I absolutely adore this pistol. Thanks again, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. See you soon.